Immediately following the overturning of Roe, many states' trigger laws went into effect. And the result of that, of course, is immediately abortion in nearly half the country was outlawed. And now we have horror stories that are coming out about what it's like to live in those areas. Now, first, there is a story, of course, of the 10-year-old rape survivor being forced to flee to another state to get an abortion. That's horrifying. Republicans, of course, called it fake because, that couldn't possibly happen. Except where, no, it actually did happen. It's exactly what we told you would happen. Now, of course, the alleged rapist was arrested, and so they were forced to admit, oh, yeah, that's real. Okay. Then, of course, they suddenly switched over to, but it was an immigrant. It was an immigrant that did it. It was an immigrant. Distract, distract, distract. Squirrel, squirrel. Look, ignoring what forcing a 10-year-old to deliver her rapist baby would do not only to her body, but also to her mental state, as well as what effect or effectively what kind of life that child would be forced to live. Well, ignoring that because it's inconvenient to their narrative, and it's because it would make them look like the monsters that they are. That's just one story. Now we have more stories of pregnant people actually being forced to carry non-viable fetuses at the risk of their own lives. In fact, here's the story. A doctor in Louisiana, Dr. Valerie Williams, had recounted in a patient. This is according to an affidavit that she had written. In that affidavit, she said that she had a patient who was having a miscarriage. She said that her and the patient had come to a decision. Again, this fetus was non-viable. It was not going to survive, and so they made the decision together to request a procedure that is fairly common in these kinds of cases. It is a dilation and evacuation, a D&E, to remove that non-viable fetus. However, thanks to the state's abortion laws signed by Democratic Governor Bel Edwards, this is Louisiana, which completely bans abortions without exceptions for rape and incest, the doctor was unable to help her patient. A lawyer told Williams that performing the procedure could put the doctor in legal jeopardy, and so the woman was forced to go through a painful hours-long labor to deliver a non-viable fetus, despite her wishes and best medical advice, Williams said, according to the Advocate. The woman, by the way, during that birth, hemorrhaged nearly a liter of blood. That could have killed her. She was not only screaming from the pain, but also from the emotional trauma that she was forced to experience as a result of these laws. Now, attorneys from Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry's office had argued during a hearing on Monday that doctors are permitted to use reasonable medical judgment in such situations, according to the Advocate. However, attorneys challenging the law on behalf of an abortion provider argued that Landry's own tweets had caused ambiguity as to how the laws would be enforced in different situations, which is basically causing doctors to have to second guess themselves because, hey, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want these bad things to happen as a result of me actually giving care to my patients. So now we have this situation in many states where the government is inserting itself between the doctor and their patient. Now, that is the exact same thing that Republicans argued against when they voted against Obamacare. Oh, this is going to get the government between you and your doctor. Really? What are you doing right now? Instead of being able to treat the patient who was literally hemorrhaging blood and could die, the doctor had to consult the lawyers to ensure that she did not get thrown in prison. That is disgusting. That is the laws that we have in a lot of these places. The insane system that we have under right-wing Christian fundamentalist rule. Now, here's what Williams wrote. There's absolutely no medical basis for my patient or any other patient in the state to experience anything like this. This was the first time in my 15-year career that I could not give the patient the care they needed. There's more, though. In Texas, Marlene Estelle, she's a YouTuber. discovered around 10 weeks into a pregnancy that she did intend to carry to term, that there was no fetal heartbeat. She actually told CNN on Monday that she was, of course, devastated, but was not allowed to get rid of the dead fetus. Here's some of that report.
She said there is no heartbeat, there is no viable pregnancy.
Stell asked her doctor for a standard treatment, a surgery to remove the fetal remains. She says her doctor refused. That surgery, commonly known as a D&C, is the same procedure used to abort a living fetus.
She said, well, because of the new law that's passed, you're going to have to get another ultrasound for me to be able to even do anything for you.
Would your obstetrician give you the surgical procedure?
No.
So you were walking around carrying a dead fetus?
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. She was forced to carry around a dead fetus. And ultimately had to go through 3 ultrasounds. One of them, very invasive, just to be told over and over again, hey, sorry, your baby's dead, but there's nothing we can do to remove it. Really? Really? Now, if that's not bad enough, she described the situation as gut-wrenching emotionally, as well as, of course, the physical pain. And again, if that's not enough, what can carrying around a dead fetus in your body do to the human body? We'll take a look.
Dr. Lillian Shapiro has been an OBGYN in Atlanta for more than 30 years. When a woman is walking around with a dead fetus for weeks because she can't get a surgical procedure, what's the danger to her?
She can develop an infection that can make her sterile and never able to have children again.
Or even worse,
And the baby dies inside. The baby starts to release parts of its tissue that can get into the mother's blood supply. It can cause organ failure. It can cause death.
It can cause death. D-I-E, die. You can die. Again, this is the party that calls themselves pro-life. This is the party that calls themselves pro-freedom. Okay? And you see my lower third, it says real medical tyranny, right? Ironically, these are the same people that walked around during a pandemic that ended up killing over 1 million Americans, saying, oh, a mask, that's the real medical tyranny. Masks. Oh, I don't want to wear a mask. Oh, I don't want to wear a mask. Shut up. You don't want to wear a mask, and yet you want to force women to carry a dead fetus around that could kill them. Literally kill them. That's not even going to be viable. It's not going to be born. It's not a life. It's not alive. And yet you're still saying, no. I want them to do it anyway. I want to control them. Again, they believe in getting in between you and your doctor. They believe in putting your life in danger for no reason at all. No reason other than to control your body. That's who they are. That's Republicans.